Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting KUHN Chevrolet, and I'm checking out the 2019 Chevrolet Silverado in the RST trim level. Now this is a four-wheel drive truck, crew cab. It also has the Z71 off-road and protection package to show off. So let's go ahead and check it out. This truck is sitting on 275/60 Bridgestone dual or all-terrain tires, wrapped around 20-inch alloy wheels with a dark silver finish, metallic silver. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors on all four wheels. The name of this color is the North Sky Blue Metallic. Very impressive color. So the sun is shining now, so we can see hopefully what it looks like. It's a darker, just a really, I don't know how to explain it, just fantastic looking. They did a really good job, Chevrolet did, with the finish. Okay, so looking here at the front, you notice it has the body colored portion in the center around the emblem extending. Just a very impressive front end. So you have some functional vents here going into the wheel well. Parking sensors across the front, tow hooks hidden in the black portion at the bottom, and all the black in front is a matte, not gloss. Now the fog lights and the headlights are powered by LEDs. The fog lights are in a little focused beam here, and the headlights are in a reflector housing. And the bezel has like a simulated carbon fiber look to it, very impressive. So it's 3 reflectors for your low and your high beams. And your turn signal is a standard bulb, but it also has that simulated carbon fiber texture there in the bezel. And the headlight area is enhanced with an LED daytime running light, which looks fantastic. Looking at the profile, you see the handles are body colored, and just the design is fantastic. You have a very strong line right here extending down, and here at the very bottom. And the fenders extend out. You can see it's very noticeable there in the back. That transition from the bed out to the outside of the wheel. Now the rear windows are a privacy glass, but right here the pillar it's a matte black, but it's textured. So it does reflect quite a bit of light when the sun's shining on it, so it kind of takes away from that one solid window look that some vehicles go for. The upper portion of the side mirror is a gloss black, which is completely different from all the other black, from most of the other black in the vehicle. You see the upper portion of the side mirror, that gloss, but also it has an LED light that shines out in the front of the side mirror. So that way, if you're at nighttime, you need to look to the side of you and look around here at the dark, in an area in which the headlights are not shining, you can turn those on and get some additional light. This is what the key looks like, and Chevrolet's done a really good job with the key as far as just a solid feeling key that's easy to use, easy to read and understand. This is basically the same type of key they've had in the past, but it's fantastic. Now there's a physical key on the inside, has lock and unlock buttons, the ability to drop the tailgate, and a remote start, and a panic button. But this key is designed to where you can keep it in your pocket. It's a proximity key system. You just keep it in your pocket or a bag, and as long as you have it with you, you can use the vehicle 100%. So let's go ahead and push this panic button. So it gives you some chirps, and then it gives you a longer horn sounding. And let's try this tailgate. So we're going to double tap this. It lowers the tailgate, nice and smooth drop. And the remote start, you just make sure to push the lock button and then press and hold the remote start button, and it starts up for you. And you can push it again, turn it back off. As long as you have the key with you, it can be in your pocket, in a bag. As long as it's within a close proximity of the outside of this door, you can lock the doors by pushing this button and unlock them. So right now it's locked. Push the button again, it'll unlock it. When you're done, push it again, it relocks it. Makes it very simple. You also have a physical key location here on the driver's side only. Okay, so the inside of the passenger side door, you can see it's mostly like a darker brown color. It does have that tan armrest. Wood grain right in here, looks fantastic. And that's underlined with a chrome accent. And then you have a satin chrome handle. A little bit of contrast stitching there on the sides. So this is a soft touch surface up here, here, and here. It's all like a soft touch, and extends all the way up into this area, and then you get to the hard touch plastics down in this area. The handle here for closing it is sealed up, so you can utilize that for a little pocket, and then you have the pockets there at the bottom with bottle holders and everything. Has a little accent there, the sill plate and the threshold, looking pretty nice. Manually adjusted cloth seats here on the passenger side, and has a little bit of a pattern there in the cloth. It's kind of like a microfiber type feel to the portions of the cloth. Pretty good ways off the floor the seat is. And check out the legroom. Unbelievable, wide open space. A little bit of tapering. Part of this is just the floor mat's not in place 100%, but it's just wide open. A little contrast stitching there, and some chrome accents around the vent. And the dash is soft here, and it's hard up there. There's a compartment here. And then you have a locking glove compartment down here. Smooth plastic on the inside. Handles on all four doors, including the driver's side, to help you get in and out of the vehicle. Okay, so looking at the back seat, first of all, I want to point out how wide the door sticks out. This helps out with getting in and out of the truck, as well as some cargo space back here. Putting boxes or whatever you're going to put in the cargo space, which I'll show you that in just a second. Also has like a double seal in here. You see that's double sealed up. Okay, so the inside of the back door, similar to the front, has the soft touch, and then the hard touch. Wood grain, the pockets at the bottom, very similar. There's a plastic threshold, one-piece plastic floor mat. Love the floor mats in this truck. You see the handle there. Both of the front seats have a pocket on the back of the seat. It's basically a bench seat back here, but you can flip it up to have a cargo mode back here, and I'll show you that in just a second. And this is really ingenious. The back of the seat has this little strap. You pull that out, and there's a little compartment back here. Isn't that awesome? It's easy to get to. You don't have to flip the seat down to have that extra space. They just make a little door in the seat, and it's super padded, so it's not like you're sacrificing any comfort. Now these seats have the latch system for car seats. There's an armrest and cup holders here in the center portion that you can flip up out of the way. Now the headrests have a button on the right side. So right side of that headrest, right side of this headrest. You just push it and you can flip the headrest down to give you a little bit better visibility back here. So let's go ahead and flip these seats up. Just lift it up and it locks in place like so. And this is what I was talking about as far as a cargo mode. So not only do you have this compartment underneath the seats where you'll find your jack for your spare tire, but also it's just you can utilize this floor as a cargo space while still maintaining some passenger space. So you can flip up one or the other and add to your cargo space while still maintaining the passenger space, or you can flip up both of them and have a wide open space to put in a big box or whatever. And that's what I was talking about with the door being wide open. You have access to the back of the back portion much better. Now on the back of the center console here, you have 2 USB charge ports, vents for your climate control, and a 12-volt power supply. There's some lights there. You also have hooks back here on both sides, on the sides of the truck. So some vehicles have them on the back, which if you hang your clothes there, it's going to block the rear glass. So this has it here on the sides. So that really helps out with visibility. You can tell they really thought out this truck. It's just a well thought out truck. As far as looks, it looks great, but also usability and features. Okay, so making our way to the back of the truck. You see at the back of the top back of the cab, you have some cargo lights here powered by LEDs. And the tail lights are a combination of LED and standard bulbs. So you saw how easy it is to lower the tailgate with your key. You can of course lower it with this button here. You have your backup camera slightly offset, and you have a illumination approach light there powered by LEDs to illuminate behind the vehicle. So like say you unlock the truck, it gives you some illumination around the truck as you're approaching it. Parking sensors across the back bumper, which is also body colored for the most part. You do have some plastic portions, notably the steps here. So you can step up on the truck, and then you have the top portion of the bumper that you can step on. Here's your tow hitch, towing package with your 4- and 7-way outlets. And this is for lowering your spare tire. So behind this cover is a key to where you can unlock it and access your spare tire, so nobody can just steal your spare tire easily. And check out those exhaust tips. Those are looking pretty cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and push this button and lower the tailgate. So we don't even have to touch it when we're lowering it because it's a soft landing. There's an aluminum tailgate. It has like a hard plastic cover here on the inside of the tailgate. Very durable composite type material. And then this one has the spray-in bed liner. You have LED cargo lamps here on the sides, tie downs, multiple tie downs here. So you can see there's actually 3 here in the back, 2 in the front, actually 3. There's another one there at the very bottom. And those are all fixed tie down spots. Those are the most durable. Raising the tailgate is very easy. It's light feeling and it's assisted, so no problem lifting that up. Blind spot indicators are on the sides, on the side mirrors on both sides, on the passenger and driver's side. And speaking of the driver's side, this is where you'll find your fuel door. And it's capless. So you just put the nozzle in, pump the gas, you don't have to worry about it. It does have a seal around the outside here, but it's also a double door system. So if water or something were to get past this, it just drains out into this second chamber, and then there's a second chamber in which you have to push through to get to the actual tank. And this is why you need to use a funnel. This is a supplied funnel to access the tank when you're using a gas can. So it kind of gives you an idea of what's going on here. So while we're on this side, I'm going to give you another point of view as far as the back seat. You see the other side has this compartment. And when we lift this up, you can see the compartment under here. And it has this little bit of a retaining wall, so whatever you put in there, it's not going to be rolling around and getting in the way while you're driving. It stays in that compartment. As long as you have the key inside the vehicle, it could be in your pocket, in a bag, or just sitting in the cup holder. To start it up, you just put your foot on the brake, hold it, and push this button. Okay, so here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now you notice the floor mat has full coverage all the way around. It snaps in place, it stays in place. It's basically part of the vehicle. There's your accelerator and brake pedals. This left area is a footrest, which is a pretty good size and comfortable angle. Let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. To raise the hood, there's a latch right here a little bit to the left of center, so right in this area. Just reach in and move it to the right. You can see right there. There it is. So I'm reaching in and going to the right, so you can do it either way. And this is a synthetic, like a carbon fiber type material or graphite type material, so it doesn't get hot. I think that's a good idea, because sometimes when you have the engine running, things get hot under the hood, of course. Okay, so it just goes up by itself. Once you release the latch, it just goes right on up. So the under portion of the hood is insulated. It also has a seal on this outer edge here in the front of the hood. This helps out with, airflow, but also noise, stuff like that. So you have a seal here as well. And across the back is a seal. All right, so the insulated and heat shielded firewall. And it's not covered up too much with plastic, so you can actually see the engine a little bit. There's a lot of stuff in here, but everything's organized well, and I don't think it's too overly bunched up. So you can see the portion of the frame here kind of extends out and curves. So that way you have a crumple zone. So any forward momentum going to push this in instead of completely back. And you have some braces there as well. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So here on the driver's side, it's automatic, one touch down and one touch up. Although the driver is automatic down and up, the passenger and rear is automatic down, and you have to pull it up and hold it to go up. So you can still go down quickly just by pushing it. It goes all the way down, but when you want to pull it up, you have to press and hold it. Side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side and adjust it with that little pad, and you have your door lock controls there. Power seat here for the driver, so you're able to go forward and back, up and down, tilt, and a power lumbar adjustment. To To the left of the steering column, you have an electronic parking brake that you can engage just by pushing a button. It will engage the rear wheels. Now the headlight controls are here, so when you move it to the left, it's spring-loaded, and it basically toggles on your automatic light control. So you can turn on or off your automatic light control, and you can also change to parking lights and headlights here. And then this is the button to turn on those lights that are on the back of the side mirrors, those spotlights. Then you have your dimmer switch for your interior gauges. Your cargo light in the back of the bed, the very top of the cab, it shines on and illuminates the cargo light, as well as the LEDs on the side. And then this is your fog lights. Four-wheel drive controls are here. You have automatic, four-wheel drive high, four-wheel drive low, and two-wheel drive high. Here you can toggle your trailer mode. So you pull it to the left for your trailer, and then you can pull it again to release it. You also have a tilt and a telescoping steering column that you can gauge with this lever. And the lever is fairly easy to see and easy to get to. Push it down to disengage, adjust, and lock it in place like so. Okay, so sitting in the driver's seat, checking it out, tremendous amount of room in here, and just everything is well laid out. That's my impression of this truck. So I have the seat all the way back and all the way down, and I'm 6 feet tall, and I feel like a toddler. I can barely touch the pedals here, and it's just a lot of leg room. So this is way far for me to sit back, but there's just give you an idea of how much leg room is in this truck. So it's a leather wrapped steering wheel, soft to the touch, comfortable, good thickness. Cruise control is here on the left side. So you turn it on here, cancel it, and then to resume and set, you actually use this little wheel right here. So these aren't buttons, it's just this part right here is the wheel. Heated steering wheel too, with a little indicator letting you know it's on. On the right side is your voice recognition, and this is also to answer Bluetooth calls, and this is the hang up. And then these buttons in the scroll wheel correspond with a screen between the gauges, which we'll get to in just a minute. There's actually a volume for your radio up here on the back of the steering wheel. So as your hands are resting here, you can toggle your fingers up and down for your volume on your radio and change to your audio tracks here on the left side or radio stations. Windshield wiper controls are here on your turn signal stock. And your shifter is here on the right side, column shifter, and you have the ability to change your gear ratios on the 8-speed automatic transmission. This is mostly for downshifting to give you some engine braking. So let's take a look at these gauges. So it has that flat black background, white lettering popping through, easy to read, easy to get an idea of what's going on at a glance. So your RPMs are on the left side. On the right side is your speedometer. Across the top is your oil pressure, engine temperature, fuel gauge, and your battery voltage. But right here in the center, this is an information screen. Right now it's showing your digital clock, digital speedometer, distance to empty, your odometer, and showing you this in two-wheel drive. You also have a digital compass there, vehicles facing southwest, and giving you the status of your cruise control and what gear you're in as you're here at the bottom. So we can use these buttons here, the left, right, and the scroll, and we're going to scroll to the right. So you can see this is part of a menu system. So you see little icons there, and some of these icons here, you notice there's a little bar right here, so you can actually scroll down and get more information using this wheel. So scrolling up and down, sort of like a mouse wheel. You get the tire pressure, air filter, brake pad life, that's pretty neat, fuel economy, blank page. Scrolling to the right again, this is your settings. We can go in here and have a speed warning, different settings here that we can turn on or off. My default would be the digital speedometer, and in this screen there's nothing to scroll. And I like the way the button is like a concave, so you can easily find it and push it, and it looks pretty neat as well. There's a storage pocket here at the very top. It's hard to get the camera to look at it, but it's up there, and it has a removable rubber tray you can clean, put it back in. Also, it keeps things from sliding around since it's a rubberized surface. There's a lot of options here, and it may look like a lot of buttons, but it's very simplistic in my mind. It doesn't have a lot of, it's not overly done, it's not overly engineered, it's well laid out, I think. So here's the touch screen, and this is the home screen. So it's a split right now between your radio and your phone, and you can have you know, presets there at the top. And so you have these icons here at the bottom as well, but you can notice these little dots showing you that this is part of more than one home screen. So you actually have some more apps here so that you can go into your audio, phone, Wi-Fi, go into settings. You have OnStar. You can toggle go into your trailer lights and test those, I suppose. Let's hit the back button. It also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you just plug in the appropriate phone, it'll install the software and just pop up here on the screen. Whatever things that you have on your phone will be accessible on the screen. So like navigation, different things like that, music that's on there, all kinds of things, but it does have to stay plugged in. Continuing on, there's a camera. This is where you can actually see the backup camera without putting it in reverse. We can go ahead and do that now. And since it's offset, it has these active guidelines. They're very precise. As I turn the steering wheel, they're very precise in their, much more precise than other vehicles. Seems like other vehicles, you have to turn the steering wheel quite a ways to get them to move. This one, you just barely turn the steering wheel just a little tiny bit, and it's already registering on the lines there. And this gives you an estimated trajectory as you're backing up the vehicle. So you can toggle those on or off. And since it's slightly offset, when you push this button, when you're backing up a trailer, it gives you the center line. So when a camera is slightly offset, it doesn't give you a true, it's not in the center, so you have to know where the center is. So this gives you that center line there. So I think it would be better if the camera was actually in the center. That would help, but this is better than nothing as far as backing up a trailer. This is really good actually for backing up a trailer, but I wish it would have, you know, put that camera in the very center. I think that would have been better. Okay, let's go back out of that. So once you pair your phone, you'll have access to, you know, recent calls and things, but you can also, without your cell phone, make an emergency call. It does have its own cellular connection that it can use for emergencies only. And then go in the audio, so you have your radio presets. You have AM, FM. You can adjust your sound. You can browse. Let's go to more here. You have AM, FM, and Bluetooth as your audio sources right here. Now it does have inputs to the radio with USB. Now what happens is you have to plug it in before it appears up here, so it's not showing right now. So you have a traditional volume, tune through the stations. You can make selections with that check mark. We saw the back button, there's the home button, and change through, depending on what you have, tracks or radio stations, that kind of thing. You can seek through different stations. Okay, so down here is your climate control. So you have your driver and passenger temperatures, and you can sync both of them by pushing that button. To unsync it, you can push the button, or you start adjusting the passenger knob there, and they're rubberized knobs, really high quality feeling. And then you have your fan speed here in the center, where you want the air to blow, front and rear defrosters, air conditioning, and recirculate the air. You can also toggle on off the climate control. Heated seat controls. So you have 2-stage, actually 3-stage, high, medium, and low. And this is for both the back and the bottom. This is just the back for your driver's side. On the passenger side, same deal. Parking sensors you can turn off or on. You have the indicator light here. Same thing with your stop-start feature. When you get in the vehicle, it's going to be on. You can go ahead and turn that off. That's what I recommend. You can drop your tailgate by sitting right here. Parking, four-way flashers, emergency flashers are turned on here. The default on is your traction control, but you can turn it off here. It's always going to be on unless you turn it off. And then you have a downhill descent control. This is for four-wheel drive situations in which you're crawling down a hill and it keeps you at a steady speed without slipping too fast. Trailer brake gain control is here. USB-C and standard USB inputs or charge ports as well, and a 12-volt power supply. Okay, so this is your center console. Really big and functional. You have very soft armrest, and there's a center portion to separate the driver and passenger, so you don't have to fight over precious space here. Very, very soft and comfortable. You can put a cell phone in here or whatever, and you have cup holders, little storage pockets. It's all nice, open in the center, so you can utilize the space for more than just cups, like prop your cell phone up or whatever. Now, what I've liked to see, what happens is, in this particular case, is when you plug in your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, or just generally charging your cell phone, there's your ports, which are uncovered, but there's no place over here to put your cell phone. So like, it would be nice to have a pocket here to put your cell phone. That way the wire is not traveling across here to plug it in. Especially when you flip this up, there's not really a place to put your cell phone at all. So that's interesting, because if you're using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, it has to be plugged in. So anyways, this lifts up, okay, so in two places. So this part lifts up. You have a place to clip something and put some tissues, and a storage compartment here. And this is the funnel that I was telling you about as far as a gas can. Comes with that. And this is a rubberized floor in here. It's removable. Okay, so this whole thing lifts up. So this is kind of like a handle here, and just lift it up. That way you can have a center passenger. You can have a center passenger here. And when you do this, there's no place to put the cell phone. Because, you know, you have this is now a seat. Now, if you wanted to, you could, there's actually a compartment under here that you can put your cell phone. But I don't see any places for the wires to go in and out of this without getting pinched. This is also locking. It has a keyhole down here that you can lock this compartment. Same thing with the glove compartment. But yeah, I was kind of curious about that as far as where you're going to put your cell phone when you have your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto going. I guess you could just lay it down here on the floor, but if you have a center passenger, they might be, you know, getting in the way. But maybe up in here. I don't know. If you got an idea, let me know in the comments on where it could go. Maybe you just put it over in the glove compartment or something like that. I don't know if the wire will fit in there, but we'll have to check into that a little bit more. Okay, so the rearview mirror has a manual day and night mode. So you have your OnStar and emergency buttons up here. Tap lights. Little ambient light right in here for nighttime. Little tiny lights like that I love, because it seems like they're insignificant, but when you're at nighttime and it's really, really dark, they add a really nice glow inside the truck to where you can kind of get your bearings a lot better. Okay, so the visors have really big mirrors in them. They also extend out that metal part. Have a little clip there as well. Okay, so let's look at the visibility in the back. So I have the headrests up. So this is, you know, if you have passengers there, this is basically, you know, with the headrest down, you have some better visibility, but you can see there's a slight issue, not a huge issue. Of course, if you have passengers back there, you're gonna have an issue with their heads being in the way as well. But overall, not bad. I mean, you do have a lot of glass. You can look over your shoulder easily. You can see right down the center. And you also have the blind spot monitor system, rear cross traffic alert with that system as well. And your backup camera, parking sensors, all those different, the different technology to help you avoid either side swiping or backing up into something. Before I let you go, got to show off the window sticker here. You can use the pause button to get some information off of it if you like. It is useful to know what this vehicle has as standard and optional. So we got standard equipment over here. Starts off with a warranty, and then it has mechanical, safety and security, exterior, interior. And then you have your standard vehicle price, and then you got some options here. So you have the Z71 package, and then you have the All-Star Edition. You also have the engine as an optional engine, safety package, trailer brake controller added on there. And then you have your money breaking down with the total price, fuel economy, ratings, safety ratings. They're not on there yet, but they would be there. And then you have engine, United States, transmission, United States. Some parts are made in Mexico. Most of it is, well, there's a good portion of it is made here in the United States. All right, so thank you for watching. Thank you to KUHN Chevrolet here in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And really appreciate them allowing me to show off an awesome truck. And I'll see you guys next time.